everyone. What I'd like to do in this video is get into a little more detail about how the exotic ads actually deploy out into the HTML templates. So here we see a pencil expander. On rollover, it opens up and actually pushes the content down. This has been left justified and it's been set to run inline as opposed to hover over content. Neat thing about these two is you can set a cookie. It's really easy in the builder tool for a time interval on how often it resets itself. If it auto expands, for instance, the first time a user visits the web page, it'll remember that for, let's say, 24 hours, and it won't auto expand the next time he comes into that page until that 24 hours elapses, and then it'll auto expand for him or her the next day when they visit. So here's what this looks like for those who care. So here's the HTML, and there's CSS that goes with this too, but we don't need to get into that. Here's the ad script. Now, normally this part right here is hosted by us, but since this is a local demonstration, I just have it mocked up here locally on my system, but it's really a trivial matter. This would be pointing out to the web, and here I have my tracking tag is set to empty string so we can click through. But the important thing I want to point out here is that it's wrapped in a parent div. So basically, on the HTML template, you're not obviously going to deploy manually these scripts. These scripts get deployed into your ad server. The ad server finds a certain tag that you place here instead of this div tag, and it does the replace itself automatically. But there are no position properties set for this div, and it doesn't really need to do that when it's in line, as long as you set this particular ad placement as left align to be within, to float in, or not float in the page, to be in line with HTML content. It will do the push-pull magic. So here's another example. This is an MR, medium rectangle deployment here, and you'll see it's just deployed into a regular MR space, and now it can expand both vertically and horizontally, giving bigger footprint for the ad for the advertiser. And yet it also floats above the content. It didn't push or displace content as it was changing shape. And here's what that looks like here. If I go to the other example, I think we'll find it here. Again, here's the ad script that you would get from the system, and here's the parent div that it's nested inside of. You'll notice that it's got a position set to relative, and it's got overflow set to visible. This was set to floating. The actual exotic ad, the ad unit was set to be floating, not in line, and right justified. Floating and right justified. So if you see it, it's right justified, meaning it's anchored on the right edge here, and content expands towards the left, and floating in that it floats above the content on the HTML page. Basically what we do is we throw it on top of the stack with a z-index of 999,999. So that should keep it above all the other content. So anyway, a little more detail on those two examples. I hope that helps.